Good morning. This is Kamera again. We're on day number 111, 2 Kings chapter 1 through 3. So we're in our 12th book. So far, we've read Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, First King, and now we're in Second Kings. And we're still in the 4th month of the year. All right, so that is, now we're in the 12th book, 11 books down. So the book starts off today, the reading starts off today with talking about the new king of Israel. King Ahab died in the last book, and now his son reigns. Ahaziah is not a man of God. He is committing the same sins as Jeroboam had introduced to children of Israel. The only thing he did that was pretty good was he tore down those idols of Baal that his father had erected, and erected. And so, yeah, that was the best thing he did. But he is not, basically said he did evil in the sight of the Lord, basically. Ahaziah has an accident, and he sends a messenger to Beelzebub, god of Ekron, to ask if he's going to recover from this accident. Angel of God talks to Elijah, tells him to send a message to the messenger from Samaria, the king. The king lives in Samaria, so a messenger from Samaria. And so, yeah, he tells them, basically, send this message to your king. Is there no God in Israel? Remember, Samaria is the capital of Israel. And so Elijah's talking to the messengers who the king has sent to talk to Beelzebub. And he tells them to tell the king, is there no God in Israel? Why would you seek Beelzebub or inquire of Beelzebub, of the god of Ekron, on whether you're going to recover? Because you did this, you are going to die. So the messengers go back to the king of Israel, Ahaziah. Ahaziah is like, you guys are back pretty fast. And that's when they tell him that this guy walks up to us and tells us to tell you or ask you, is there no God in Israel? Why are you seeking or inquiring of this Beelzebub of Ekron? Ahaziah's like, oh, what does he look like? Who is this guy? Some hairy man who wears a leather belt. What does Ahaziah do? Oh, he sends his commander and an army of 50 go and arrest Elijah. This commander approaches Elijah. Elijah said, he greets Elijah. Oh, man of God. Elijah's like, if I'm a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and destroy you. Fire shoots from heaven and kills the commander and his 50 troops. So, yeah. Now, get this. Ahaziah sends another commander and 50 men. Oh, man of God. Basically, king wants to see you or what have you. Elijah's like, if I'm a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and kill you. And yeah, fire comes down from heaven, kills the commander and his troops of 50. Okay, I don't understand. Why don't they just leave Elijah alone, right? He delivered the message. King, you don't like it. It is what it is. You just lost 100 men. This dude sends 50 more, a commander and 50 more. So this third guy is like, when he approaches Elijah, "Oh man of God, please have mercy. Do not, destroy me. The king wants to see you. No harm will happen to you. Please just come. I know you've killed those other men before me, the two other groups of men before me. Please just come. Nothing's going to happen." So the angel of the Lord tells Elijah, "You'll be okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. Go ahead and go with this commander." I can't correct that time, right? I don't blame him. I'd have been begging too. So Elijah goes to visit the king of Israel. He tells Isaiah what he told his messenger. "Is there no God in Israel? Why did you inquire of your health through Beelzebub, god of Ekron? You are going to die because of that." And you guys already know how that turned out. If you read it, I know you know how it turned out. Anyway, yeah, Ahaziah dies. He dies. All right. So now, get this. That was Elijah. Elijah and Elisha. Now they are going to Gilgal. Looks like Elijah just want to drop off Elisha. Elisha's like, "No, I'm not leaving." Elijah's like, "God want me to go to Bethel." Elijah says, "No, I'm not leaving you. As sure as the Lord liveth and you live, I am not leaving you." So yeah, Elijah and Elisha continue their walk. And the Lord tells, and so Elijah, once they get to Bethel, these 50 prophets approach Elisha and tells him, God is going to take Elijah today. Elisha's like, "I know that, but be quiet about it." So Elijah says, "Okay, Elisha, you stay here. The Lord want me to go to Jericho." So Elisha's like, "No, as long as the Lord live and you live, I am not leaving you." So they continue their journey and they go to Jericho. They get to Jericho. 50 prophets approach Elisha again and say, "Your master Elijah is leaving to go with the Lord." Elisha's like, "I know this. Now be quiet about it." And so Elijah tells Elisha, "You stay here. The Lord wants me to go to the Jordan River." Elisha's not having that. And so they head out to the Jordan River. And these 50 men of prophets, they witnessed everything that happened from this point on concerning Elisha and Elijah. Elijah takes off his cloak, he folds it, and he slaps the water of the Jordan River. Did I say Jordan River. And he and Elisha and Elijah walks on dry ground across the river. Now, those 50 prophets they're observing all of this. As they are walking, they get on the other side of the Jordan River. And the Elijah, like, "Elisha, what is it I can do for you?" Elisha says, "I would love to have a double portion of your spirit, to become your successor." And so Elijah's like, "That's a huge order, but if you see when the Lord takes me, you got it." So they're walking and they're talking, going about their business. This chariot of fire comes. This chariot of fire, drawn by 2 horses of fire, comes and separate them two. Just come right between them and separate them two. Takes up Elijah in this whirlwind. Takes Elijah into heaven. And Elisha's like, "My Lord, my Father, I see you. I see the chariot. I see the chariot of fire." Basically, he throws himself down. And so once Elijah was gone, he sees this Elijah's coat, which fell off, his cloak, which fell off of him. And he picks up the cloak. Elisha picks up the cloak. And so he heads back. He strikes the Jordan River, and then he calls out to God, and the river it parts, and he walks on the dry ground. Now, this is the thing. The prophets who saw from a distance, they were like, or perhaps Elijah, the Spirit dropped him off on some mountain. And so Elisha's like, no, we're going to send 50 men to go and look for Elijah. He's like, don't go. Elisha's like, no, don't go. So they persisted, and Elisha was like, all right, if you got to do this, you do what you do. And so they spent 3 days looking for Elijah. When they were done, they went back to Jericho where Elisha was, and they're like, we couldn't find him. Elijah like, but I told you not to go. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens there. And so get this. After that happens, then the leaders of Jericho, they approach Elisha. And they're like, the water here is bad. I mean, it's a great land. Everything, it's a great land, but the water here is bad. So Elisha was like, okay, just bring me a bowl, a new bowl with some salt. And so once he got that salt, he threw it in the water, and he basically purified that water. Well, God did through his spirit. His spirit through Elisha purified the water. And so he says, no longer will anyone die from this water or be infertile, basically. So yeah, and the water's been purified since then. From what I hear, it's been purified. So Elisha leaves there, head back to where he wants to go. I believe it's in Samaria he's heading toward. These boys thought they want to mock Elisha. Hey, Baldy, or whatever they were calling him, right? They're mocking Elisha. Elisha curses them, right? 2 bears come out and attack and kill those 42 boys. Yep, mocking the man of God did not turn out well for those boys. All right, so let's get this. Remember, Ahab died, his son reigned after him. And then after him his son was Ahaziah, and we already know Ahaziah died. And so was it his son or his brother? Because I don't think he had any kids. I don't think Ahaziah had any kids. His Joram is the successor at that point. I believe it Ahaziah's son, brother. Guys, read it. I may have that wrong. Anyway, he began to reign the 18th year of Jehoshaphat. You guys know that Jehoshaphat is the king of Judah. And Joram, so that was his brother, because Ahaziah had no sons. Joram, of the king of Israel, reigned 12 years. He reigned 12 years. But he started his reign the 18th year of King Jehoshaphat, Judah. He did evil. Yeah, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Moab, this is where Moab comes into play. Moab, the king of Moab, they were the king previous to, I believe, I don't know if it started with Ahab or before Ahab. They would have to give 100,000 lambs to the king of Israel. 100,000 wool from 100,000 rams. Well, they're sick and tired of that. And so now they want to go up against Israel. They want to rebel against Israel. And so the king of Israel, he approaches Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat and the king of Israel. And he's like, dude, I need your help. I need you to go out with me, and let's go ahead and take and deal the situation with Moab. Jehoshaphat like, hey, that's fine. I'm down for that. And so they also recruit the king of Edom. And so they're traveling for like 7 days. 7 days. And yeah, no water as well. 7 days. And so what happens is they're like, oh my God. Well, the king of Israel, Joram, says, oh my God, the Lord sent us out here. We're going to die. And so Jehoshaphat's like, let's seek a man of God. Let's seek the man of God. So then they approach Elisha. Elisha's like, you pagan worshipers, why are you guys coming to me? And so they explain to them what they're doing. And so he's like, fine. If it wasn't for Jehoshaphat, which we already know is a man of God, Jehoshaphat, king of Judah. If it wasn't for Jehoshaphat, I'll send you guys away. And so what he tells them is that God's going to cause water to rise. They're going to defeat the Moabites, fill their land up with rocks or what have you. All right, so good. So get this, Moabites heard that, there were 3 armies after them. They head in the direction of this battle. And so, Moabites, they look down toward where the battle's about to happen, and they're like, ooh, it looks bloody down there. What they see actually is the sun reflecting on the water. Remember, the water had risen. There was no rain. The water had risen at this time. Ooh, they must have fought against each other, and now it's all bloody. Let's go and, get their plunder. No, dude. Wrong answer. So what they get there, the 3 armies, rush out, attacks them, and and so battle. King of Moab sees things not going in his direction. He runs. They go to this wall, this place that has this tall wall. Archers start, shooting at them or what have you. The children of Israel, archers start shooting at them. This guy, this king of Moab, grabs his son, his heir to the throne, places him on the wall. Guess what he does? Burn him as sacrifice. Yeah, children of Israel not liking that, but they leave. That's crazy. Guys, there's a lot in this. I can't believe how long I'm taking in this, right? But I didn't want to miss anything. I did, though. I know I did. So go back and read it. Some good stuff. You see God in this. You just see miracles happening in this. So guys, ask God for understanding. Ask him for wisdom in his word. Ask him to help you to accept his word. And ask him, how can I apply this in my life? What do you want me to see in this? What do you want me to learn from this? Okay? So guys, that was day number 111, 2 Kings, chapter 1 through 3. You have a God-filled, blessed day.